I recently heard about a new Charlotte Mason curriculum and I was asked to review it. So if you're interested to hear all about a new curriculum and my opinions on them, stick around. So I was asked in a recent video in the comments by a few different viewers to review a curriculum called With Outdoors. It is a Charlotte Mason curriculum and I hadn't heard about it. It is new, fairly new, and so I decided to look into it. And here are my thoughts. So this curriculum was launched in 2022, and it is definitely a Charlotte Mason curriculum. It is grounded in Charlotte Mason's philosophies and methods, and I really found a lot of things quite interesting and exciting about it. It is meant to be a family style of learning. Most Charlotte Mason curriculum, although you can do them together as a family, at least some of the subjects, is not designed to be that way. Charlotte Mason did not design family style learning. She intended for subjects to be done at different levels that you would incrementally increase in your ability to read and write. So it's not that she thought that family style learning was not something that shouldn't be done, but it just wasn't how she designed her Charlotte Mason, her schools in England 100 years ago. Now, Charlotte Mason curriculum typically try to pattern themselves after her model, and a lot of large families particularly, you want to do a lot of subjects together. And so doing subjects together does work, but you'll often find that curriculum aren't written in a way to do a lot of subjects together. Now, there are other Charlotte Mason curriculum out there that try to be family centered, like Simply Charlotte Mason does a lot of family style types of learning. But this really is designed for an entire family. Now, it's interesting how she does it, and I would say she is a combination of Charlotte Mason and unit studies. In a good way. It's not a typical unit study, but it is more unit study-ish in how she designs her curriculum. So how she does that is she coordinates all the 28 weeks of lessons. So there's 28 weeks in total, and she coordinates them around a specific time period and place. And so the whole entire curriculum, through its history, geography, music, art, all of those things all revolve around a particular time and place. And so that's what sort of makes it like a unit study. Even though Charlotte Mason also follows history cycles, it's put together in one book, in one booklet, designed for the whole family. And so these are the periods or time, places, and periods that she has. She has early America, modern America, Canada, which is coming soon, I believe it's later this summer, United Kingdom from 55 BC up until modern times. Now this I found to be a huge span of time to cover in a 28-week period. So I'm a little iffy on what that might look like. It probably is sort of more broad strokes of that huge range in time. Then she does the ancient world, medieval, Renaissance, and the modern world. Medieval and modern worlds are coming later this summer as well. So those will be ready for the fall to study. Now, the website says that it is intended for grades 1 to grade 8. I do disagree with that. Now, you could, of course, you could do it up until grade 8. But in comparison with other Charlotte Mason curriculum, I would say that it's more grade 1 to about grades 5 to 6 at the most, because it's in those upper elementary, middle school, and then junior high age is what we call it in Canada. Those ages, you are starting to do more independent work, first of all, but also a deeper dive into other subjects like science and things like that. So what she covers in this curriculum are Bible, history, geography, literature, art study, music study, poetry, and handicrafts. So she really covers everything that a Charlotte Mason curriculum covers other than math, and nature study in the early years is all Charlotte Mason recommends for science up until about the age of grade 4 or maybe 5. So that's another reason why I say that this curriculum really is appropriate up until about those grades. Grades 1 to 4 would be perfect. And then in grade 5 and up, I would say that you would want to start branching off into a few other deeper subjects. But you could also really do this up until grade 8. It depends on your approach and it depends on what your priorities are. It does seem like she has a lot of richness to her books. And then of course, you do have to add in math for all of those grades. But what it looks like is, so she has a book. You can either buy the digital and print it yourself, or you can get it bound. And she has everything you need all in one booklet. So she has the weekly plan, and in that she has all the guides and the weekly plan for all of the subjects. She also has at the back of the book activity pages, map work, art in full color, poetry, and so many other things that, and you can just photocopy those for extra copies for all of your students if you need individual activity pages and map work, but it's all included into one book, which I think is so fascinating. Most of the time those things are online. You've got to print them off yourself, or you're going to have a whole bunch of different books that you've got to go through, but this is all in one. This is why I call it sort of like a unit study. It's all together in one, bound in a beautifully bound book in nice quality. And it's all there for you. QR codes that you can click on for links for music and other video clips and things like that. Of course, the book lists are extra, which is true for all Charlotte Mason curriculum, where you have to buy all of the living books and picture books. She has a list of family read-alouds, she has a list of picture books, and then she has lists of books for each subject and each grade, so that you can adjust the curriculum based on each grade level. So you may cover one specific topic or place, and then each child would be reading from a different book. But it really is well done. Now, what I really love about this is that it's so inexpensive. She is only charging $29 for the year for one of these cycles, or you might call it a unit study, for the digital print, and only $49 for the bound book. I think that is amazing. In addition to that, she has created her own book of centuries, which is beautifully bound. It's really well put together. I've taken a look at it online, and she only charges $10 for the digital print and $18 for the bound book. I think that is amazing. But it really, she's put a lot of work and effort into it. It's nice quality work, and it really looks so much fun. I would say that some of the book selections are a little bit, if I have to criticize something, a little bit on the lighter side, but by far doesn't mean that it doesn't have rigor. Just in comparison to, let's say the CMAC and Ambleside Online require a higher level of reading comprehension and ability for a lot of their books for each grade. Like some of them are like, that's way too challenging for us. The Alvieri is a little bit less challenging, but still has the rigor. A Gentle Feast is a little bit, and I would compare it to maybe with A Gentle Feast, but they're still excellent books. And the books really, she does approach it with a really broad perspective of various backgrounds and countries and ideas and thoughts and peoples. She really isn't excluding any particular type of book. And I'm really loving the book list that she has. She's really put a lot of time and thought into her book selections to coincide along with those history periods. The one big difference, I would say, and I don't think this is an issue. In fact, I think this could be a solution for several people. All other Charlotte Mason curriculum expect you to do all the enrichment subjects weekly. So you would do your composer study, you would do your art study, you would do the hymn study, you would do all of these things each and every week. Whereas on a weekly basis, she will have you cycle through them individually. So on one week, you would be looking at a hymn study. And in the next week, you would be studying an artist. And in the next week, you would be studying a composer, and so forth. Now, some of you may say, well, that's not the way it's meant to be. You're supposed to study all the riches all the time. But as someone who has been doing Charlotte Mason, it can be a lot to fit all that in. And then you end up feeling as a homeschooling mom that you're not cutting it, that you're not getting it all done. You're feeling a bit like a failure and you're finding you can't get it all done. So this allows for having the riches of Charlotte Mason's other subjects, but not having to do it all in the same week. I will tell you, we have dropped off things all the time. We have never really completely done handicrafts to a full term, you know, the next term we'll start a new one and then we just don't finish it. We haven't always done art studies every single week. They get dropped off. Well, this really allows you to intentionally do the riches and not feel the pressure that you have to do all of them all the time. So even though it is different from Charlotte Mason in that way, I think it's quite unique and is really a great idea, especially for those busy moms that want to do Charlotte Mason, but you just can't get it all in, and it's totally okay. Charlotte Mason never intended for us to rigidly stick to a particular program and not feel that we had that flexibility that would suit our family's needs. And they also break the year into terms the way Charlotte Mason does. Now, I just don't know exactly how long the terms are, or whether she has 2 terms or if there are 3. It is broken into terms because she does have term exams. However, she only has 28 weeks and then an exam for each of those terms. So she either has 28 weeks, and if there's 2 terms, that would be 14-week terms plus an exam, and that would be a total of 30 weeks. Or if there's 28 weeks and she somehow divides that into 3 terms, then the total would work out to being 31 weeks. Now, I know for some states and provinces, you do have to have a certain total number of hours in, and so typically it's about 36 weeks that you need rather than 28 to 30. So it doesn't quite meet that standard. However, it would be so easy to do a few more additional weeks of school, maybe picking up another, reading more books, doing your own separate rabbit trails, whatever. It really wouldn't take much to add a few more weeks onto that to make up your hours that you needed, and you wouldn't feel the pressure that you could get all of this done in such a short period of time, or stretch it out a little bit longer. You could really make this unit study. You may come across one particular week where you're just loving it and you don't want to skip it. You might want to do it for 2 weeks. So there's lots of ways you could make this stretch and flex to whatever you need it to be. And so just about the background of this creator of the curriculum, she is a Christian. She does come from a Protestant background. However, she is careful not to include any denominational differences within her curriculum. She will say, here's a Bible passage, read it, but it's up for you as a homeschooling parent to determine, how you choose to interpret that passage and things like that. And so it's not, there is no specific denominational doctrine in there to influence you one way or the other, but her background is Protestant. And I also wanted to say that this really could work as a spine. I think this could be, if I hadn't have found the alveary, which I do love, I'd be interested to even picking this up because it's so cheap. You could buy this and easily do this for the summer months, for extra car schooling, but it would make a great spine to carry along with you and do bits of pieces of it. As extra morning time when you wanted to do, there's really so many ways you could do this, and it's so very affordable. But as a spine, you could take it and then just branch off and go deeper dives into all the different directions that you really want to go in. You don't have to follow it strictly and use it for your own thing. But I just so love how it's all packaged together in one nice bundle, and it just is so flexible to do all the things that you would need it to do. The pricing is just so amazing that it could really just be, it's so affordable that you could make this supplementary to your own curriculum. As I said, I mean, I really might consider purchasing it just because I really want to take a closer look at it. I'm interested to see what she has for Canada, because there is not a lot of Canadian curriculum out there. And so that is something that's exciting. When that comes out, I think I will purchase it, and when I get it, I will review it for you here. But that's all I have for you. I hope that that's been helpful for you. I would check it out. I think it is, it looks like a great, well put together Charlotte Mason curriculum. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.